Hi, Favors here. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about self-mastery, mindset mastery, wealth creation, and just how to live a life of freedom. And today, I want to talk to you all about a very sensitive subject. And the fact of the matter is this: have you ever been made to feel ashamed that you were in a place and you desired to be successful, or you wanted to be wealthy, or even rich for that matter, but people keep making you feel ashamed? Well, good people, you may not know, but there is a serious conversation had between the business sector and leadership sectors in our country and our society, and we're going to talk about it. But before we get into it, as always, thank you all for joining me on the channel here. And if you enjoy the content, then do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn that bell notification on so we can continue to bring comment. And of course, this is serious now, you all. If you have experienced this, to be made shame or to be shamed because you desire to be wealthy, you desire to be successful, then drop me down, leave it in the comment down below. And if you haven't, but you have thoughts about it, you have comments, then leave some down below. I would love to hear from you guys. Okay. So with that being said, you all, this whole concept and notion about wanting to be a successful entrepreneur, wanting to position yourself and posture yourself so you can take care of your family. It is not something that is undesirable. Several books that we have that we read that we reference that says it is a good quality and a good trait for a man or a woman, for that matter, for an individual to want to be able to express themselves and show love and gratitude and appreciation for their loved ones by wanting to bless them and wanting to help them. And to be honest with you, it is laudable to want to be healthy and wealthy so that you can show love and show those expressions to your loved ones, family, and friends, and even in terms of giving back in society. But this whole concept, you all, that's come across my desk, and it's come across a couple of times about people wanting to be success, but afraid to say it in certain circles, afraid or leery about talking about it because someone has a concept to where it is we shouldn't want to desire that. And sometimes they use biblical scriptures, the love of money is the root of all evil. Let me tell you something, y'all. That's the love of money is the root of all evil. Let me tell you something. That's what the text says. But to desire to want to be wealthy, no, 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 no. The Bible says and I should pull this up for you all because some people say that money is the root of all evil. But the Bible says that it's the love of money. And so we don't love money. Money is just a tool. We tell it what to do. That's called having a budget, ladies and gentlemen. And you make money subjective to your desires, what you want to do. But you don't compromise who you are in yourself. So I could talk about that for days, you all. But what I really want to do is get into some of the clips. And so you all know that I'm a big fan of listening to business, and certain things on the internet, on YouTube particularly. And here's a story that I ran across that I think is going to be pertinent for what we're talking about. And just to start a conversation, now let me say this: they're going to be talking about, and you're going to hear some sound bites of something that is not necessarily my personal views. Okay, I like to say things different, but I always want to make a disclaimer because I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't be your financial advice. This is for educational purposes and conversation starter. But you're going to hear them talk about some things that, it may ruffle some feathers, all right? So when you hear it, just understand that I'm only showing this to show you and share you that at large conferences held by people who are in this space, they're having the same conversation that I'm having with you right now. Okay. So here's a clip from Dave Ramsey show on the Big Money Show, Fox Business, and he has a conference going on, as a matter of fact, this weekend, I believe, in Orlando. But I want you to listen to this language, you all. And so I'm gonna play a little bit of it. We're gonna have a conversation about it. And let's listen to this.
So you had a wonderful speech this morning where you talked about some concerns about this war on success, the war on capitalism. What do you tell the next generation that is really having this debate between capitalism and free markets versus big government socialism?
Well, in business, we learn to study patterns and we learn to study best practices, meaning that we're going to look at a company that's doing something well and we want to mimic that. And we look at a company that failed in something and we want to mimic that. And the problem with the socialism discussion is you can't find a single example where it worked. It's just straight up stupid. It's academically ridiculous.
It's never worked.
It has never worked.
Okay, so even when I said language, I don't just would flat out say someone is stupid or anything like that. And so please don't take that as that being my personal view. But I just wanted to show you that. Did you hear when she asked the question, what do you think about free enterprise and the war on success? Do you hear what I'm trying to tell you all? Who knew that having a desire to want to be successful was such a bad thing in today's society? I don't see anything wrong with it. Do you see something wrong with it? Remember, drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. But now, once again, we want to be respectful and we want to respect each other's comments. But this is serious to me. Why is it that if I have a desire to want to be successful, and I read books and I write books, and you know, and I've noticed it, you all, how some people, you know, they really think or feel that if you want to be successful, that you are betraying the oath, or you know, or you're doing something that you should not be doing. This is interesting to me, you all. And so here you see that even Dave Ramsey, whether you like the guy or not, is not here what I'm here to argue. I'm telling you, listen to the conversation amidst everything that's going on right now at the date and time of this recording. Listen to what's going on.
And, you know, I travel to these countries. I was in a foreign country the other day, and they said, we have free health care. And I said, it's not free, you idiot. Your taxes are 65% of your income. Of course it's not free. And so this is, you know, socialism is great, Margaret Thatcher said, until you run out of other people's money. And so we're just having to have this discussion. But the thing at the root of it is a spiritual thing where we've declared success to be evil.
Now that right there, that's one of the main things I wanted you all to hear. Said that we are dealing with in a spiritual battle. Now, once again, you all know I'm a pastor, and I tend to kind of, you know, choose certain things I choose certain words because I understand that we're called to love, and I don't like to jump on people. That's why I don't get into calling people names and stuff like that because I come from the old school to where it is if you don't have nothing positive to say, then shut your mouth. As a matter of fact, you never have to put anything else down to build yours up. The results will do that. Okay. And I'm happy to say that we get results in what we're doing. And so, but listen to that. Where did the notion come from that the desire to be successful and to want to be wealthy is evil? Now, this is a very serious concept. And you say, well, Doc, why are we talking about this right now? Because we got things going on and there's a serious wealth transfer happening. And I see a lot of people who are in need who've been talking and just, hey, Doc, what you doing? How you getting this, man? And you know, asking questions about certain things. But then when we start to talk about them, they shrink back into this old way of thinking, this old way of perspective, looking at stuff. You know, if a person come to me, for example, you all, when I'm interviewing clients for some of our programs, I say, well, what is it that you want? Are you where you want to be financially, emotionally, spiritually? They say, I want to operate at the highest level. So what do I do? So then I tell them, well, you know what? If you really want to know, when he said that we follow traits, we call that success hacking. So we look at the ones who are successful in the areas and lanes that we want to be in, and then we kind of model that and take some of the good things. Okay. And so even when I tell them, I said, if you look at most of your millionaires and billionaires, they have a daily routine and stick around toward the end, you all, because I'm gonna share something that I have for you. Actually, I'll show you a glimpse of it. We developed something called the Millionaire Daily Routine, the 10 habits to start your day so that you can live your life and become a success if that's what you want to do. And I'll make sure that you have a link down below to get that. But what I'm saying to you is in this situation, I want you to think about that. You tell them, hey, it requires some work. You got to get up early. You got to be disciplined. You got to do X, Y, and Z. And then they say, no, I don't want to do that. But they say they want change. So I'm trying to figure out now, why is it so bad to want to be a success? And why has it become a spiritual thing to declare war on success and want to be healthy? When clearly the Bible says that money answereth all things and said the blessings of the Lord maketh rich and add no sorrow to it. Guys, it's a perspective. Once again, it doesn't say that money is the root of evil. It says the love of money. So we don't put nothing before that, okay? And once again, I don't want to turn this into a preaching piece, but guys, we just got to call a spade a spade. And this whole concept about you being ashamed to want to be healthy, to want to be wealthy, it seeps into other things that you're doing. Okay, if some industries are not for you, let's just say if you want to be, you're going to hear them talk about trades versus, you know, we send people to college. Matter of fact, let me just let you hear and I'm going to come back and say it because it gets kind of deep. Y'all listen at this.
Or wealth building to be evil. And 89%.
Success and wealth building, it's a war on it that he just said that it's supposed to be evil, which of course that's not the case. But Let's just let it play.
Percent of America's millionaires, that's 9 out of 10, by detailed airtight research, are first generation. They started with nothing and became a millionaire on their own. And so to tell them that they did something wrong is horrendous. It's a war on the word success. And so all of these small business guys in here that own heat and air companies or a veterinarian clinic or a healthcare thing, you know, they're all in here pounding it and they're winning, and then they're being shamed by some character who lives in his mother's basement with an iPhone that's $1,100 and says capitalism is bad.
You know, capitalism in this country is built AI.
Okay, now they're getting ready to shift into AI, and I've already got some things about that. But what I want you all to hear is the language, okay? I I don't know if we've been spending enough time teaching and talking about education in terms of how we are supposed to go about making a living. And they're going to get into AI, which I may just let you hear it anyway, because they're going to talk about how AI is replacing jobs and certain things is happening, but it's also highlighting, you know what, let me just go ahead and play it, y'all. I'm gonna just let y'all hear it.
I think we're the leader. We're well ahead of China in terms of AI and the AI revolution. I want you to listen to a soundbite. I spoke to some other business leaders, and they felt mixed on if they were positive or not so positive on AI. Take a listen.
Sure.
So I'm a pro AI-er. So I'm the CEO. This is my wife, co-CEO, anti-AI-er, if that's a word. But I know that we have got to embrace it because it's coming and it's coming fast. So I know that if we don't embrace it, we're going to get left behind, and I don't want it to go there. So we are implementing it little by little, and we just got to get started.
What do you think about AI?
Oh, I love it. It's a wonderful tool. What do you think about the internet? What do you think about the computer?
Does it make you more productive, though, or do we start to see layoffs because AI can replace some jobs?
I mean, you saw layoffs when someone put a tractor in the field and you no longer needed 73 people to plow the field, and you saw layoffs when we put electricity in the train engine instead of a fire. And so anytime there's a disruption in the market, people will change and readjust their careers. But it's not the end of their career. We saw layoffs around the internet. Broadcast world has changed because of broadband, right? And so, we see the shifts in this, but that doesn't mean that talented people can't still land in doing something. If you're a content producer, like for instance, we got about 1,000 team members. A whole bunch of them are software engineers. They're going to learn to manage AI, or they're going to lose their job to it.
Now listen at this. Now this is what I wanted you all to hear. The whole piece. Now, of course, y'all know the capitalism versus socialism. We can do that. I don't like to get off too deep into the political arena because that's not necessarily my niche. I do have my views, but I keep them to myself. But what I want you to see as it relates to this broadcast, to this video, we should not be made to be ashamed because we want to have success and we want to build wealth. That is not evil, you all, okay? Money is neutral. It is the way it's being used. It's just a tool. A hammer can be used to build a house, or it can be used to inflict pain on someone. It all depends on how you utilize the tool. But he says something here that's so important about AI, and I only pinpoint this is because you all saw the slide I'm getting ready for pre-taste later on. But we have a awesome, amazing company that deals with AI ecosystems and business solutions and leadership community and tokens and rewards with about everything we got going on. And so, if it's not your play, then I get it, but we don't have to damage and make it evil because other people see an opportunity to get involved with a company that's going to help secure their what? Their future. And then as they continue to talk about education, you're going to hear Dave Ramsey say that we sending kids to school and college, and I'm a product of it. But times have changed. They can go and get trades and do better and earn more than trying to go chase after a degree that makes that when they graduate, the industry of that degree is going to almost be antiquated because of AI. So we just have to tweak it a little bit. I told my youngest son, hey, I still want you to get a business degree because you still have to learn how to think and do business until he returns. That's the Bible. But he can do so many things with his business administration degree. He can become a business owner. He can get into some of the trades. He can own it and operate it however he wants to do, but it'll just position him. At any rate, these are some of the things that I want to talk about. But the most important, I wanted to shed some light and highlight the fact that we are in a space, you all, where it seems as if there's a war on success. and a war on the desire to want to be healthy, to want to be wealthy, and to want to be able to take care of your family. Now, whether you for it or against it, that's for you to decide. All I'm saying is, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you if you've ever experienced like this. If you had a dream to want to get involved in the industry that someone else, it wasn't their forte, and they made you feel bad or made you feel insignificant and talk so bad about it. I've had it happen a lot of times, y'all. You should have heard how many people told me when I started trading Forex, oh, that's gambling. It's not gambling, it's trading. Well, that's gambling too. You can't do it. Really? But then when I got it down pat, them some of the same people when COVID hit was calling me, man, Doc, what you doing? How you still doing this? I said, I'll show you, but you be warned. It's the same skill set that I was trying to teach you and tell you all that was going to become a household name less than 2 or 3 years ago. But I get it. Once he said it, when you are a disruptor and you are disrupting normal way of lives and you're disrupting the normal way of doing things, and people sometimes they can't handle it until they forced to deal with the change. But for visionaries and leadership, is why I teach it. This conference is Entree Leadership Summit, y'all. As a matter of fact, I should be there. But here's the thing: as a disruptor and a visionary in leadership, you have to be able to see things coming and pay attention to the trends. That's the biggest skill set that I got from learning how to trade. And so now it helps me see business opportunities. A lot of plays and things that we're in, I haven't said anything about, you all. Because once again, I want to protect the community for one thing. So I can't just be throwing everything out, because sometimes I got to get it, try it, let it work, make sure that it's safe. Then I introduce it, which that's called vetting. Okay. So I've done some things like that. But anyway, two things that I want to share with you all in terms of this information resonates with you is two things that I want you to understand right now. Number one, your mornings are important. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a video about how people self-sabotage their own success by hitting the snooze button. And then that lets you know how important the morning is. So once again, if you're interested in the Millionaire Daily Routine, 10 habits to start your day, to command your day, then hit the link down below. And of course, if you're interested in learning more about the Alpha Pass, the gateway system that we have to our Score Token ID, to our Web3, to the real world assets and tokenizations that we have through our amazing platform and company called Bellator Life or Mediterra, since you stuck around to the end of the video, that's going to be the second link that I leave you down there, okay? And of course, you can always go back to and scroll up on the page here on our YouTube channel, and I have videos for you all. That's why I do these videos, to keep you all informed so you can make an informed decision. And all you got to do is go here. Let me open this up just a little bit. I like to see it three. And you'll see here that we have the videos here. AI is booming now. What is tokenization? And I see some of you are interested in this because I see the numbers. All right. So that's good. So y'all, let's keep doing this and keep sharing it. Now, when you want to know more about this Alpha Pass, I want you all to see this. Over 500, it's going to be expected. Over 555, just less than 8 days, has already viewed this piece. So that means it's getting traction because people are interested in learning how to park something somewhere and let it create a passive and residual income from them, for them, should I say. And so you can always just scroll up and go check out some of these things right here. All right. So with that being said, good people, this is Doc Favors. If you've ever been made to feel ashamed, I'm telling you now, you don't have to be ashamed. It is your birthright to want to be in a position to where you can show loves of expression and kindness to your loved ones, to your community, to your favorite charity. And in order to do that, you do have to have some resources. You do have to learn how to deal with economics and finances. And that is one of the things that we do here. That's how you create a life of freedom, you all. Okay. You have to do things a certain way. One of my favorite books that I teach out of, called The Science of Getting Rich, says that you don't get rich by doing a thing. You get rich by doing things a certain way. And it is laudable to want to be rich as long as you don't make it an idol, which means you can't love it. You can't be willing to compromise your character and mistreat people, dog people out, talk about people, and think you're better than people just to get a position of status. No, that's not what we do. We use money as a tool so we can express and show our love. Okay. So with that being said, don't forget to hit the hit the button, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Join the channel. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And most important, share this video because I want to have a conversation. And so based upon the comments, you all know if you ask some questions or whatever, I'll answer those. But I really want to hear from you because sometimes you'd be surprised how many people self-sabotage their own success because they're concerned I won't say necessarily afraid, but they be so concerned about what they friends and they circle of friends, their community, even your parents. Sometimes you're concerned about what they're gonna say to the point to where you don't go with that gut instinct. But I came to tell somebody today that made to be filled ashamed about anything you're doing that you are have you have a strong conviction about, you have a strong desire about it, y'all. That is not good, and you want to break that. Okay, so let's continue the conversation, you all. Thank you all so much for being here with Doc Favors. As always, consistency is the key. Be consistent. Take your time, and you'll eventually get there. We'll see you next time.